quote, an idle mind is the devil's playground. Area code 661. Hi, you're on the Thinking Atheist podcast. Thanks for your patience. Who's this?
Hi, Seth. Love this show. I've been listening for a while now. My name's Steven.
Hi, Stephen. Thanks for calling. What do you got for us?
So I grew up in a Pentecostal environment. It was part Assemblies of God, part Word of Faith. The kind of thing you see on TV evangelism. And I can't tell you how many nights I lost sleep thinking about the demons and evil spirits trying to get me. And I've left Christianity. I reflected on that a lot, and just how insidious it is to imprint those fears on the minds of young children. And it's like these fundamentalist religions first tell you that there are these horrible, evil spirits in the world, and then they're like, oh, but we have a cure here. And once you're good and terrified, they're like, we have the cure. We can protect you so long as you believe in these things that we've taught you. And it's like they stick you with an infection, and then they dangle the cure in front of your face. And it's horrible, but it's a great way to make sure that kids are indoctrinated and that they won't stray. I mean, the first time I ever dressed up for Halloween was this past year. I was a dark wizard. I'm going to be a damn apostate. I'm going to be a good damn apostate. So, in any case, you mentioned Bob Larson, but there was this other, during the whole 90s, that was crazy for young Christians. There was this music video by a guy named Carmen called Witch's Invitation. And he had another one called No Monsters in My House. But this Witch's Invitation one, I remember, it's the cheesiest thing in the world, but it freaked me the hell when I was a kid. And it was just like, he goes over to this witch's house, and the sorcerer is trying to kind of show him how powerful he is compared to his God. And it's just ridiculous. There was also a lot of things that they just told us were demonic and evil. And the thing that comes to my mind is the Ouija boards that Parker Brothers put out when I was a kid. Like, this was in the 90s for me. And I remember seeing the commercial, and my whole family was like, oh, this is so evil, so demonic. And now I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, wait a minute. So Parker Brothers manages to harness all the mystical powers of these dangerous, evil, supernatural beings. And the best thing they can seem to do with them is have them, like, move a little triangle across the board, and not, like, attack Milton Bradley headquarters, or, go after Nintendo so kids will play more board games. Let's do anything practical. Let's just have the DVDs move the triangle on the board.
Everybody check Parker Brothers symbol, see if it's got a moon and some stars and some stuff on it, because, obviously they're agents of the Church of Satan. Yeah. Well, when I was growing up, we were terrified of the Ouija board. We really felt like that we had heard stories that the people who would have parties with friends, they'd stay up late, and there were always stories of someone who said, I felt it move, I didn't move it, it moved itself, there was a spirit in the room, it was the scariest thing I've ever done. And then the warning they gave to us as children is, once you do that, once you've opened the door, now you have essentially, you've given permission for the demons and for Satan and his angels, his agents, to sort of taint you. I mean, you carry that stuff with you for the rest of your life, and it's just terrified us.
It's terrifying. Before I go, I'm going to let you get to your other callers, but the first thing there's two things you need to check out. The first is Chick Tracks. I don't know if you've ever seen Chick Tracks. They're like these little comic strips that this guy named Jack Tricks puts out, and one of them is called Dark Dungeons, and it tells about all the evils of playing Dungeons and Dragons, and it's really, really hilarious. Stupid, but hilarious. And the second thing is on YouTube, there was this documentary that was produced by a Christian company in the late 80s called Turmoil in the Toy Box. And it's basically this Christian documentary about why everything that kids enjoyed in the 80s was evil and a tool of Satan. It's crazy.
All right, thanks for the call very much.
Thank you, Seth. Keep up the good work.
I remember the Chick Tracks. I feel like I'm having to give a backstory on every icon, every topic that comes up, but I realize there are those who have no idea what some of this stuff is.